In 1905, the British partitioned Bengal, sparking the Swadeshi movement, a massive anti-colonial uprising. Thousands marched through the streets, demanding an independent nation. It's easy to view this as a straightforward struggle for liberation, but Tagore asks a more difficult question. What happens when a righteous fight for freedom loses its moral compass? In his 1916 masterpiece, The Home and the World, Rabindranath Tagore explores exactly that. He takes the vast chaos of a national revolution and shrinks it down, placing it entirely within the quiet, traditional boundaries of a private family estate. At the center of this estate is Bimala. As she steps out of traditional seclusion to discover her modern identity, her personal journey mirrors the chaotic birth of the Indian nation itself. Two men are fighting for her allegiance. On one side is her husband, Nikhil, a principled ethical humanist. On the other is Sandip, a charismatic and radical political leader. This domestic love triangle operates as a Trojan horse for a brutal philosophical debate. In the fight for liberation, do the ends ever justify the means? Tagore tells this story by rotating through the private diaries of all three characters. We get to hear the persuasive, internal logic of each worldview straight from the source. Nikhil's diary reveals a strict ethical code. When political leaders demand a boycott of cheap foreign goods, he refuses to force his poor Muslim tenants to participate. For him, human dignity outranks political theater. This scale maps their opposing philosophies, Nikhil's ethics versus Sandip's absolute nationalism. Sandip treats the nation as a deity, arguing ethics are for the weak. Watch this third node, Bimala's allegiance, shift to his side as he manipulates her, declaring her the divine symbol of India. When radical ideology lives entirely on paper and in speeches, it sounds deeply romantic, effectively masking the danger of its absolute demands. Satyajit Ray's 1984 cinematic adaptation takes these internal diaries and turns them into concrete visual actions, exposing the flaws in these ideologies. The camera unmasks Sandip's grand philosophy as vanity. We watch him puff expensive foreign cigarettes while screaming at local peasants for trading in foreign thread. The film grounds the political theory in harsh reality. The public burning of foreign cloth is presented as a deliberate destruction of property, rather than a celebratory montage. We see the economic ruin caused by boycotts. The movement targets the livelihoods of lower-class Muslim traders who simply cannot afford more expensive local alternatives. As Bimala watches this human cost unfold, her perception of the movement shifts from a divine calling to a series of avoidable tragedies. She realizes she has been used as a hollow political pawn. Tagore and Ray suggest that when a movement sacrifices the individual for the sake of a collective symbol, it risks burning down the very home it set out to protect. True liberation, they argue, cannot be won through the abandonment of basic ethics.